Good morning, dear aspirants. I am Akriti Kanchi, your mentor from Prepp IAS, and I am helping you to read newspaper as fast as possible, right? So a lot of things has happened. India has visited a lot of countries and a lot of prelims and mains point of view facts that you will benefit, especially for this year and next year's exam, right? So let's start with today's 15th February newspaper. So India has visited US as the fourth country after the Donald Trump's presidency, which is a great thing, right? So India US to double bilateral trade to $500 billion by 2030 is the target. This comes under GS paper 2, India USA bilateral relations. Okay. So what is right now, USA has trade deficit with India. That means India is in benefit. India is exporting more to US than what we are importing from USA. So Donald Trump doesn't want that. It wants we should even out that, right? So that's why we had to promise more energy purchase and investment in infrastructure, right? So in the first segment of trade agreement, India is looking to increase energy purchases from the US to address US Donald Trump's concerns about the US trade deficit with India. Okay, they have also given us, Donald Trump has also promised us the extradition of Tahir Rana, who is wanted in India in connection with 26/11 attack of Mumbai, right? So several agreements were done in defense, trade, energy, technology, people-to-people cooperation, and most important is, as we said, they want to more than double bilateral trade to $500 billion by 2030. That is mission 500. Okay, and Mr. Trump's "Make America Great Again" MAGA is similar to our Honorable Prime Minister's "Viksit Bharat." Right, so Trump called India's tariff unfair and a problem, and they had announced the reciprocal tariff. So what is reciprocal tariffs? I had explained in previous day's newspaper. If you know about it, please write in the comments. Okay, and US is pushing for more defense. So US wants to balance the trade deficit. So it wants to sell more of its defense things to India because India is weaker in defense, of course, very weak in defense than the USA. So United States will increase military sales to India by many billions of dollars. Okay, so F-35 fifth generation fighter jet, they are ready to sell it to us. It was also displayed in Aero India, right? Russia Su-57 and F-35 of USA. Lockheed Martin is the maker. Let's move to the next article. We have fewer articles today, so I think we will save more time of yours by finishing things faster. Right. So peace imperatives, president rules in Manipur. This article is more important from internal security point of view. Internal security is in GS paper 3, security challenges and their management in border areas. So issue in Manipur is about the two ethnic conflicts, two ethnic groups conflicts, but also because it is in the border of Myanmar. Okay. So the number of central forces have been there since 2023 to control the strife, the ethnic conflagration that started in May 2023. Displacement of over 60,000 people have taken place. So there are several issues. Militarization of civil society has taken. That means normal civilians have taken arms in their hand. Okay, burgeoning of armed groups, right? And they are calling themselves as village volunteers, right? So they have looted arms from constabularies, which is not very good, right? This has been further complicated because of the expanded role of insurgents who were fighting the Indian state or were engaged in Myanmar civil war. We know Myanmar is also not stable. Janta rule is going on there. There are several, insurgent groups. So it is also affecting Manipur, right? So the Ministry of Home Affairs has to identify the village volunteers, disarm them by using a firm hand and with incentives, and then work on ways to tackle the insurgents, right? So a lot of things have to be improved there. So internal security issue is the reason behind the president rule. Okay, so this article is talking about the issue of climate change with respect to the dam. Okay, so it's talking about the issue. In October 2023, a powerful glacial lake outburst flood, GLOF, glacial lake outburst flood. Exam question can be asked about it. From the south, Lonak Lake had decimated the dam and its hydroelectric power generation facility. Okay, a global warming and particulate matter, especially black carbon, also known as soot, is accelerating the melting of Himalayan glaciers. So there was a lot of glaciers and less of water there, but now glaciers are melting, so more lakes are forming in those regions, okay, and that's why outburst, glacial lake outburst can happen. Glacial lake outburst flood is more possible now, okay. So new lakes are happening or adding to the existing one. A report by the Central Water Commission, you can use it on any answers related to climate change. A report by Central Water Commission says that a number of glacial lakes and other water bodies in the Himalayan region had become 10% more numerous between 2011 and 2024. In the last 12-13 years, it has become 10.8% more numerous, and the combined surface area had increased by 33% on the same period, which is not a very good news that glaciers are melting with such a high speed, okay. Let's move to the next article. Dealing with China's weaponization of e-supply chains. In the 14th February newspaper, we just read how China was being the upper riparian state for the transboundary rivers. It was using the militarization of dams it was doing, or securitization of dams it was doing. Similarly, it is doing with the e-supply chains, okay. So this topic comes under syllabus of GS paper 3, effect of policies of developed country like China affecting India's interests, okay. So China has a monopoly on a critical specialized manufacturing equipment, like, right? So Apple Foxconn is very important for India's ambition of becoming a global manufacturing power in the phones area, right? So fully cognizant of its dominance, the China knowing its dominance in this advanced machinery, it intends to curb the tacit transfer of knowledge from China to India in any which way, right? So they are trying to sever. So there is a growing trade tensions between China and the West, and the West is trying to find an alternate of China. China is very well aware of that realizes the need to limit the rise of its geopolitical rival. Europe or West wants somebody who can give things like China, so that China they don't become so dependent on China, and China wants to make sure that the entire world is dependent on them. So that's why it is limiting the rise of its geopolitical rival, which India can be, or Vietnam or Mexico can be the next rival, right? Global corporation, and it's also indispensability. So in fiscal year, so India is trying hard to become manufacturer in this region, right? Especially they have assembled $14 billion worth of iPhones in India. State government in South India have prioritized Apple Foxconn in the pursuit of investment. Large-scale electronics manufacturing of smartphones is an important pillar of Make in India program. Production-linked incentive scheme, very important scheme, and also a successful scheme, was launched first in the electronics industry in 2020, and the allocation has further increased, right? So Union budget has completely removed basic custom duties on mobile phone components, printed circuit boards, camera modules, connectors and sensors, okay. So they are trying, and also on the manufacture of lithium ion batteries. So they have cut the basic custom duty on these things, which is important for India's manufacturing in electronics industry. But India is still largely a center of final assembly and not the indigenous manufacturing, right? So the National Manufacturing Mission for Small, Medium and Large Industry, they have announced this National Manufacturing Mission is announced in this year's budget, which is a good step, right? And so that's why a robust network of indigenous contract manufacturers for not just foreign corporations but also for domestic Indian brands is required, okay. Let's move to the next article. Vice President, okay, we'll discuss this article, which is continuous of India-US bilateral trade, okay. So in the energy region, in the energy area, US-India 123 civil nuclear agreement, and to jointly build US designed nuclear reactors in India. So in the energy partnership, they are trying to work on civil nuclear agreements. The US side affirmed its first firm support to India to join the International Energy Agency as a full member. US is supporting India to become the member of IEA. That means India is not currently a member of IEA. Please note it down, okay. So in technology, they have brought this trust, which is transforming the relationship utilizing strategic technology to enhance cooperation across government, academia and private sector. Trust is the tech pillar of Compact, which replaces the Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technology ICET framework, which was with the Biden administration. ICET framework, Critical and Emerging Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technology, it was with Biden administration. The new administration of Trump has brought Compact instead of replacing ICET, okay. So US investment will be there in the semiconductor fab in India, would fall under this initiative, right? And Quad and all we know. So let's come to the next. India is this one. Yeah. So here I'll tell you what is the full form of compact. So there is transforming the relationship utilizing strategic technology, which is trust, which is part of compact, catalyzing opportunities for military partnership, accelerated commerce and technology for the 21st century compact and the Asia Autonomous System Industry Alliance. You should know trust, compact and Asia. Full forms of these can be important for prelims and mains. Okay, new things coming with the new administration in USA. Okay, they will renew their respective armed transfers regulation, paving the way to ultimately provide India with F-35 stealth fighters, 5th generation stealth fighters. Let's move to the next article. Okay, this we just need to know the headlines. Trump ruffles feather with mediation offered to ease India-China tension. So that will create more issue between India and China if Trump will mediate, right? So Trump keeps doing such, keeps announcing things which is controversial. This comes under GS, India-US bilateral relations. After US President offers help in PM Modi's presence, Foreign Secretary says India resolves its issues bilaterally. We do not need third power. Okay, Beijing says Asia Pacific should not be an arena for geopolitical games. That much is sufficient. Let's move to the next article. So this is a interesting news that you can use as how India is still so undeveloped and we still have areas, right? So it can come in GS1 Tribals Life. Andhra Pradesh tribal hamlet celebrate freedom from darkness 78 years after independence. Okay, so February 13 would go down as a memorable day for residents of Buriga and China Konela, two remote, inaccessible tribal hamlets in Anantagiri district of Andhra Pradesh. Okay, and why we are talking about them? After 78 years of independence, they have received lights, okay, electric street lights. They were dark till now. So even now, light has not reached all parts of the, country. So this place, this tribal hamlets has received it just now after 78 years, and they did their traditional dhimsa dance to celebrate it. Okay, you can use it in essay or any question when what issues we are still facing as an undeveloped country. It can come in an essay topic also, Viksit Bharat and things like that. So what things we need to work upon. Let's move to the next article. So I think that's kind of it for, yes, I think that's it for 15th February. Thank you.